In this video, we will be talking about parts of an algebraic expression. So, an expression contains numbers, operations, and other symbols. And when I say other symbols, I am referring to variables. And in an expression, there is no equal sign. So when you have an equal sign, you have created an equation. But in this video, we're just talking about parts of an algebraic expression, meaning that there will be no equal sign. So if I have the expression 5x plus 13, and now I must find, okay, so what's the term? What's the coefficient? What's the constant? And what's the variable? Now, many of you guys might not know what each of these terms means. So, on the right here, we're going to write what each of these things means. So, okay, so a variable is a symbol that represents one or more numbers. An example could be Y. The letter Y represents a number. We don't know what the number right now is, but we are substituting that number with a letter or a symbol. So that Y is the unknown here. Now let's talk about a coefficient. So a coefficient is a number that is multiplied by a variable. An example could be 2x, and the variable is the x right over here, right? That's a symbol. The 2 right over here, this is the coefficient. The 2 is a coefficient. And now let's do constant. So a constant is a number without a variable. For instance, 8, right? And 8 has no variable next to it. Now what a term is, I'll write it on this next page. So a terms are part of an algebraic expression. So, examples. If you look at the page before, we had y, like for example, like y, 2x, and 8. So for instance, if we use all these examples and we came up with the equation y plus 2x plus 8, remember it doesn't have an equal sign, these individuals are the terms. So that's why we have them all over here. So all these variable, coefficient, constant end up being the terms. Now we can identify what the term, coefficient, constant, and the variables are. So, okay. So the term is, again, part of an algebraic expression. So right now, the term for 5x plus 3 would be 5x and 13. We separate the terms by using a comma. And the coefficient is a number that is multiplied the variable. So it's next to the variable. Right now we have that 5 over here. So the coefficient, you don't put the x. It will just be the 5. The constant is a number without the variable, and that's 13. And the variable we're using is x. Let's do one more. Let's do 2z to the second power plus y plus 3. So what are the terms? Again, it's going to ask for the same thing. Coefficient, constant, and the variable. Okay, now the term is number. So for our term, we're going to say 2z to the second power, comma, y, comma, and 3. For a coefficient, we're going to use 2. And since we have, right now, we also have a variable. Now our variable this time, like unlike the first example, this variable is by itself. If your variable is by itself, meaning there is not a number next to it, we still would put as a coefficient 1 because, for instance, let y be 2. If the y equals 2, there's technically that 1 still there, but usually in algebra or whatever, we don't usually put that 1 there because we already know a number, any number times that 1 gets itself. So that 1 does not change the value of y. If the y was, let's say, 3, and if that 1 is in front of it, 1 times 3 gives me 3. It doesn't change, but we can't not just right. We have to have that 1 there as a coefficient because technically there's always something before that variable. And right here, like that, we had a z here. There was a 2 in front of it, but even though there's not a number in front of y, it's still, there's an invisible 1 there. Most of the time they don't put that 1 because they're expecting you to already know it, right? Because any number times by itself, that y does not change the value, or that 1 doesn't change the value of y. So we still put that 1 there. And for a constant, we would put 3. And for the variable, we would have 2 this time. That's z, and it's y. So hopefully this video helped you. And if it did help you, make sure to subscribe to this channel. And in the next video, we will just be talking more about algebraic expressions.